Hello, my name is Dave Johnson. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Class and Glass. This year we had 3 main outlets we were able to sell at. The first being craft shows. We attended 3 different craft shows around our area once we got started. And in craft shows we learned a couple different things. We were put on the spot by our customers. We learned to adapt to different demographics, and in certain instances we adjusted our price point based on what we saw and what we felt necessary. Our second was retail vendors, actually. We went to 3 different places around our area, the first being Gervasi Vineyards, the second Mays Valley Winery, and our third Chestnut Hill Gifts. You can buy our products at any of these 3 places right now, actually. And through these stores, we learned how to negotiate with business owners to establish a distribution network for our products to be sold. And the third final piece of the puzzle is team selling. Just us going out selling to family, friends, and people we know. We realized due to the unique qualities of our product that we needed to show potential customers our product, not just tell them about it. So marketing created a catalog for us to show potential customers our product before they actually bought it. And that's all I have for sales. Now is the Vice President of Production, Kyle Google.
Hi. In order to get our bottles looking as good as you all saw earlier, there are a few crucial steps that must be taken. First off is clearing the bottles of labels. Then, cutting the bottles that require a candle. Next, sanding the bottles along each cut to ensure the edge is smooth and safe to the touch. Lastly, we prepare each bottle for painting by attaching our own self-made templates for rubber bands. Throughout the course of the year, we learned the importance of quality control and attention to detail. Early on, as mistakes were made, we realized that these mistakes were cutting into we're wasting time and supplies. And after all, in the world of business, time is money. Exactly. Time is money. At the end of the year, we didn't want our profit to be diminished by simple mistakes that could have been prevented. So in order to fix this, I created simple to follow how-to manuals which explain the production process for each individual bottle. This way, everybody in the company has equal access to the same quality assuring principles. Production taught us the importance of planning, continuous improvement, time management, and attention to detail. As for continuous improvement, halfway through the year, we felt we needed to develop a new product that would not only save us production time, but cost and supplies as well. So we created just that. We created a candle holder, and the unique aspect about their candle holders is that they not only recycle the bottle, they recycle cork as well. This way we're recycling more and saving the environment. With double the savings in time and production, plus double the recycling, what's not to love about this product? Now I'd like to hand it over to our Vice President of Human Resources, Sarah.
As VP of HR, my job is to give personal evaluations. These evaluations not only help to decide our final grade for this course, but it also gives us the opportunity to realize our strengths and weaknesses. Now, last but not least, I would like to give it off to our president, Jacob.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacob. I'm going to cover marketing and finance right now. Our marketing department was extremely effective this year. They were responsible for creating sales assistance items like you see there. And these are things that, that the public would see that would help inform the public and make our brand recognizable. Marketing, of course, was also responsible for creating public awareness. And we did this by getting published in several local mailers, as well as creating our commercial. Over the year, marketing taught us most importantly that consistent product branding and recognizable branding is one of the most expensive, or one of the most important things a product can have. And over the year, we also learned the importance of leveraging connections, and we did this. This is how we got published in several local mailers, and this is how we also were able to use places such as Gervasi Vineyards as a commercial filming location. And we learned to seize all opportunities for publicity. Up next is finance. Finance did everything a normal finance department should, keeping track of debts, expenses, and income. We learned through finance that debt is a benefit, but it can turn into a roadblock for growth if it's not properly taken care of. One of the most remarkable things about our company was that we accrued roughly $1,000 in debt within the first 2.5 months of operating. Actually, yeah, within the first 2.5 months, but we were selling at the same time period, and we were able to pay off all of the debt within about 3.5 months. Interestingly, we took a different approach to determining our profit margin. I know everyone's familiar with doing price minus cost equals profit. We actually knew our cost to make each unit, and we knew what kind of profit we wanted. This gave us our end price. And last but not least is our SWOT analysis, which I'm going to leave up for you guys to ask us questions about.
Okay, thank you very much. I do have a question. So a lot of the other, your competition, they are marketing to their own age. And you, however, had to market to a whole different type of clientele. Like you're more that higher class, higher end, you're going into these wineries. And they're looking at you as, okay, you're a high school kid coming to me with this, why would I want this in my store? What obstacles did you have facing that? Because you had talked to adults to get their product in there. And who was the first person that actually signed on to sell them in their stores?
The first retailer we got was the marketplace at Gervasi Vineyards.
At Gervasi. And then what was their agreement? Did you have to give them so much of the profit of what you made? How?
Actually, what we did with Gervasi was we were already getting empty bottles donated from them, from the restaurant. And what they liked about our product was it could be made out of empty Gervasi bottles. So it was a win-win for both of us. They got the bottles customized, and they ordered about 22 for their first order. And one of their selling points was, hey, this is an empty Gervasi bottle that was created by students.
So they sold them for the same price that you sold them for?
Wrong. We sold them wholesale, about 15 per unit, and then they marked them up about 40%.
Okay. And was that hard for you to get that initial contact?
I wouldn't say it was hard. We had to go through a couple meetings, but no, I don't think it was hard. I think they liked the product when they saw it.
So once you had the first one, were the rest easy because you already had that initial buy-in to say someone else is already on board?
Yes, that definitely helped, yep.
Okay, good.
You were talking about the second product that you did and how it was, able to reutilize the cork as well as the bottle. I guess I'm just curious if the margins on the second product were as good as the profit margins on the first product.
The margins on the second product were actually better than the margins on the first product. The reason we created the second product was to cut down on the use of supplies, which is cost, as well as time. Our primary and initial product took a lot of time to prep and paint, and 95% of our expenditures were in paint. So about 3/4 of the way through the year, we decided we need to cut out paint costs, and we need to cut down the time, and while still using the entire glass bottle. And this way we came up with the candle holders, and our only expense in there is actually the candle itself and the glass epoxy that affixes the pieces together.
Very refreshing to see, I guess, the lack of intimidation on all of your part, because where you went with this could be somewhat intimidating, especially going to Gervasi. Somebody had to have it in there. But my hat's off to you, because not only did you take the initiative to reach out, as has already been said, to capture a customer that normally in this environment you would not have, but you've turned the recyclable into something useful in another way, which is very good. Tell me how you came up with the idea, or the team came up with the idea to go this route versus the more safe and conventional way.
Well, in the very beginning of the year, the class agreed that we wanted to create something that would be repurposed or somehow recyclable at its founding, at its base. And but we also wanted it to be very unique. We wanted it to be different, not something that you can, see repurposed wood or something like that. But what we did was we came up with, how can we say? Well, we spitballed. A student of ours, Ashlyn, had access to, well, she worked at Gervasi Vineyards. And so this was our in with getting empty glass bottles. And we started getting bottles from Gervasi, and in class we would spitball on, well, what could we potentially do with these bottles? We came up with an array of designs, and we tested them, and we spent a lot of money testing them, but we ended up coming up with a line of products that was unique and couldn't be found elsewhere.
So when we had talked at your table, you had mentioned that the project ends when the school year ends and it's done. So you're in these wineries, you're selling. Will one of you individually take ownership of this and pursue it on your own?
Technically we could. As of right now, it has not been discussed.
Do you guys show interest that one of you might? I mean, it's a great idea and it's making money.
Right, I think it's definitely, the product can definitely go on and on. It's unique and people want it, it's creative. But I'm honestly not sure who might carry it on.
What will you do if more than one of you wants to?
Then we'd have to do a joint venture.
Very good, thank you.